I'm James O'Brien, and this is the Pigeon Pose joint mobilization stretch. All right, so this exercise is essentially the pigeon pose stretch, but using a mobility band to get that joint mobilization component to it. All right, so what you'll do is you'll start with the mobility band placed right up here in your groin, way up at the hip crease. All right, so in this case, I'll be stretching my left side. So then what I'm going to do is, from this kneeling position, I'm going to take my left foot and I'm going to bring it over like this. As I bring that over, that externally rotates my left hip. Then I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to reach back and slightly across. Okay, in doing so, I feel a stretch in that left buttock. All right, as I do this, I want to make sure I don't over round my back. A lot of times people will do these stretches and they're heavily rounding their back. Really, we always want to work on that spinal stability and that good alignment, so I'm making sure that I have a nice straight back, avoiding lumbar flexion. So once I'm in this position, I can look around to see where I get a nice stretch. I'm imagining that my femur here is being pushed down into the ground, and as a result, it's driving backwards, and it's almost trying to shoot out the back of my butt here to give my butt a nice stretch. So I'm in this position, and I'm looking for a stretch right there. I'm on a nice stretch. So then when I get there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just little circles. Okay, small circles. Again, I'm really not moving my spine, keeping that spine straight. I'll do 20 circles in one direction, then 20 in the other. To change the stretch up a little bit, I can change the amount of internal external rotation I have here. I wouldn't really do this stretch with a ton of internal rotation, but I could try it from a neutral position like this and then maybe come over. Now I'm getting a stretch. Or I could just really heavily work on my external rotation like I am right now and then do the same thing, all right? So it's good to add that variety. To add a little bit more variety, you could have the band pull you out to the side and then come over like I am right now. So there I'm getting to my external rotation, coming back, working on that stretch. Or I could also just have it pull at a diagonal, okay? But usually the ones I really like to do either diagonal or pulling it straight backwards. But you could also have it pull out to the side. Once I'm in that position, again, 20 times in each direction, always being very mindful to keep that back nice and straight. As a precautionary tip, if you do any buttock stretch and you feel worse afterwards or it hurts while you're doing the stretch, beyond just like the slight discomfort you'd get from a normal stretch, this stretch isn't for you. Many people are actually already overstretched in their buttock, and they actually have some micro tearing going on between the muscle fibers. And so if you're going to stretch that, it'll actually make it worse. So please listen to the body, and if you do the stretch and you feel worse after doing it, either back off, don't stretch as aggressively, or better yet, you're probably better off not doing the exercise, not doing the stretch or joint mobilization to begin with. This principle holds true for pretty much any buttock stretching exercise. That is the pigeon pose stretch, joint mobilization using a mobility band.